This is video R10. We're going to do a quick review of arithmetic and geometric sequences. Most of the formulas that you'll see in this section are on the sheet that you get to use for your EOC exam. So you don't have to worry about memorizing the formulas. You do have to make sure that you understand what formulas are arithmetic and which formulas are geometric and what that means, and whether or not you're looking for a particular term number, number of terms, common difference, first term, or whether you're trying to find the sum of all of the terms in the sequence. Let's start with arithmetic sequences and series. Arithmetic means that you are adding the same number over and over again. If I start with 2 and I add 3, I get 5, and I add 3 more, I get 8, and I add 3 more, I get 11. That's an example of an arithmetic sequence because I'm adding that same number over and over again. If I need to find a particular term or number of terms in a sequence, I'm going to use this equation. A sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus parentheses n minus 1 times d. You need to make sure that you understand what each one of those letters stands for. This formula is on your review sheet, so you do not have to worry about memorizing that. This d that we see right here is the common difference. That means it is the number that you're adding over and over again. In the example I gave you a minute ago where we were adding 3, the d would be 3. N minus 1, n is the number of the term that you're looking for. If I'm looking for the 5th term, that's 5. If I'm looking for the 10th term, that's 10. A sub 1 is the first term in the sequence. A sub n is whatever that nth term is. If I'm looking for the 10th term, so that n is equal to 10, this is whatever that 10th term in the sequence is. If you wanted to find an equation that modeled an arithmetic sequence, you can use this, but frankly, it's a whole lot easier to just use linear regression on your calculator to find a formula. For example, if I have the numbers 5, 8, 11, 14 as an arithmetic sequence, and I want a formula that will allow me to continue that sequence on out or to find any term in the sequence, it's a whole lot easier to use my calculator than to use this formula. Simply go to Stat and Edit, and these numbers will be your Y values, 5, 8, 11, and 14. The X values are just the term number. The first term is 5, the second one is 8, the third one is 11, the fourth one is 14, and so on. For this type of regression, you only need 2 terms, but you can put in all of them that you have. That would give you an equation here of y equals 3x plus 2. So Stat Edit, put in your data, Stat Calc, linear regression. If I want to find a term or the number of terms in a sequence, then I probably do want to use this formula. For example, in an arithmetic sequence starting with 48 and ending with 624, how many integers are divisible by 12? Well, the easiest way to do this is to use this formula, because if I'm looking for all the numbers that are divisible by 12, I'm essentially counting by 12 starting with 48. So this 48 is a sub 1, the first term. 624 is a sub n, whatever the last term is, the number of terms in the sequence. And divisible by 12, which means I'm counting up by 12. So how many terms are going to be in this sequence? Well, 624 is equal to, the first term is 48, plus n I don't know, n minus 1 times 12. Distribute the 12, simplify your expression, and you get n is equal to 49, which means that there are 49 terms in that particular sequence of numbers that starts with 48 and ends with 624. Now, there are some other things that we can do. If I want to find the sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic sequence, the formula for that is S sub n is equal to n over 2 times a sub 1 plus a sub n. Now, the hardest part about this formula is that I do need to know what a sub n is in that particular sequence of numbers in order to be able to find the sum. What this means is, let's say that I want to find the total number the total sum of all the terms in a sequence that start with a certain number, that end with a certain number, or that I know how many terms I have. This is what I'm going to use. So here's an example. How many terms are in an arithmetic sequence if the first term is 19, the common difference is 14, and the sum of the series is 6235? Now, I could give you n and then ask you to find the 6235, but in this problem, we've been given the 6235, and we're asked to find n. We're asked to figure out how many terms there are. This 19 is the first term in the sequence. The common difference, the number you're counting up by, is 14, and the sum of the series is 6235. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what this a sub n is in this problem. So we're going to go back to our formula from the first page. A sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d, and plug in everything that we know. We know a sub 1 is 19, and we know d is equal to 14. So a sub n, when we simplify, is equal to 5 plus 14n. Now, taking my sum equation, S sub n is equal to n over 2 times a sub 1 plus a sub n. I know S of n. It is 6235. I know that the first term is 19. And I just determined that this last term, a sub n, was 5 plus 14n. So I can go ahead and substitute that right here. So simplify, 19 plus 5 is 24. Multiply by n over 2, do your distribution here. That gives you n over 2 times 14n gives you 7n squared. So what have we got here? We've got a quadratic. 6235 equals 12n plus 7n squared. Numerous ways to solve that, but I'd probably just move the 6235 over. That gives me a nice, neat quadratic. 0 is equal to 7n squared plus 12n minus 6235. Use whatever method you want to solve the quadratic. If you're using your calculator, trying to get in, if you're in a bit of a hurry, just use your quadratic program. Go to Program, Algebra 2, and Quad. It's going to give you two solutions, negative 30.714 and 29. Think about what we're looking for. We're looking for number of terms. Can we have negative 30 point something terms? No, which means that this answer is extraneous. It's not one that we're going to use in our problem. Our answer here is going to be n is equal to 29. There are 29 terms in that sequence, knowing that the sum was equal to 6235. All right, those are arithmetic sequences. That means that we were adding the same number over and over and over again. There's another type of sequence and series that we often deal with, and that other type of sequence and series is what we call a geometric sequence and series. Geometric means you're multiplying every time. So remember, arithmetic means you're adding the same number over and over again. Geometric means you're multiplying by the same number over and over again. Make sure that it registers with you that doubling means that you're multiplying by 2. It's times 2. Tripling would be times 3. The formula for this one, for finding a particular term, is a sub n is equal to a sub 1 r to the n minus 1 power. Notice I put that in parentheses. You're going to want to do that when you put it in your calculator. A lot of this is just like in the previous formula. This is also on your formula sheet for the EOC. N is the number of the term you're dealing with. R is what's called the common ratio. It's what you're multiplying by every time. A sub 1 is the first term. A sub n is the nth term. Again, if you're looking for a formula, it's a whole lot easier to use your calculator than to use the formula. Use exponential regression. So go into Stat, go to Edit. Let's say I'm doubling every time starting with 5 and I need a formula. So if I put my terms as 1, 2, and 3, I can figure out if my first term is 5, if I double I get 10. If I double that I get 20. There's 3 terms. So then Stat, Calc, exponential regression, and it's going to tell me my formula is y equals 2.5 times 2 to the x power. So then if I want to find any term in this sequence, all I have to do is plug in the number for x. I could plug in 10 and find the 10th term in the sequence. If I need to find a particular term or how many terms without the formula, let's say I've got a problem, then I'm going to use the equation here. A bacteria culture doubles every 2 hours. If in the beginning there are 200 bacteria, how many will there be in 18 hours? So what information do I have and what am I looking for? Well, first of all, I'm told that the number doubles. Well, remember, we talked a minute ago that doubles means that R is equal to 2. We're multiplying by 2. That's our common ratio. I'm starting with 200, so that's A sub 1. Now, how many terms am I looking at? This doubles every 2 hours, and we're going 18 hours. So how many times has it doubled? 18 divided by 2. We're looking for the 9th term here. So A sub 9, the 9th term, is equal to 200, A sub 1, times 2, the common ratio, raised to the 9 minus 1 power, the 9th term minus 1. So this is 2 to the 8th. Just type that in your calculator, 200 times 2 to the 8th, 51,200 bacteria would be in that culture when you got to the end of the 18 hours. All right, if I want to do a sum, and we're talking about something where you multiply every time, then we're going to use the sum formula for geometric. Again, given to you on your EOC formula sheet. The sum is equal to, S sub n is equal to A sub 1, parentheses 1 minus R to the n, parentheses over 1 minus R. One word of warning, if you actually are given this formula and you need to type this in your calculator, make absolutely sure you're putting parentheses around the numerator. Make sure that you're putting parentheses around the denominator. Here's an example of a problem. How many terms are in a geometric series if the first term is 6, the common ratio is 3, and the sum of the series is 6558? So we know 3 things here. We know A sub 1 is 6. We know R is 3. We're multiplying by 3 every time. And the sum is 6558. So what we're saying is we're starting off with 6. The next term would be 3 times 6. That's 18. But we're looking for the sum. So we'd be adding 6 and 18. That would be 24. Then you'd multiply 3 times 18 and add that to the sum. And then 3 times that and add that to the sum. So how many times do I have to do that to get to 6558? Well, if we plug in all of our numbers that we know here, 6558, the sum, is equal to the starting number, 6, times 1 minus the common ratio, 3, to the nth power over 1 minus 3. Now, I worked all of this out. You could probably shortcut all of this, but I showed you all the steps. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Multiply both sides by negative 2. You get negative 13, 116. Divide by 6. Subtract 1. Divide by negative 1. And we get 2187 is equal to 3 to the nth power. Now, there are numerous ways to solve that when you reach that. You could graph this and graph 2187 on one side and graph 3 to the n or 3 to the x on the other side and find the point of intersection. But that means I've got to do a really big window here. I could set this up as logs, which means that I could say the log of 2157 is equal to the log of 3 to the nth power. Bring the n to the front. Divide by the log of 3 and solve for my problem. But, you know, that's going to take you a minute on the EOC and may or may not be something that you feel really comfortable with. The other way to do that is just with trial and error. Start raising 3 to powers and see when you get to 2187. You know what 3 squared is, you know what 3 cubed is, so you know it's got to be a number bigger than that. So go 3 to the 4th, 3 to the 5th, and so on. You'll discover that n is equal to 7, and that is the solution to your problem. If you have any questions on that, take that 7, plug it back in right here for this 7, and make sure that when you simplify this expression, you do get 6558, and you will find that that is the correct answer to that particular sequence. One other thing I want to show you, we talked about this in class at some point, but make sure you remember what this funny little E looks like that we call sigma notation. This you can do on your calculator, so really quickly let me review what all of these numbers mean and the 2 different ways you can approach this kind of a problem. Sigma n equals 1 to 3 of the quantity 6 plus 3 times n minus 1. That means I'm going to take n is equal to 1, and I'm going to put a 1 in for the n. And then I'm going to make n equals 2. And then I'm going to make n equals 3. I'm going to go from this number to this number. So 6 plus 3 times 1 minus 1, 6 plus 3 times 2 minus 1, 6 plus 3 times 3 minus 1. And then I am going to add all of those together. See, I've lost my plus 6 here somehow or another. I guess I accidentally erased that. All right, so now here's with n equals 1, n equals 2, n is equal to 3. Simplify all of that and add it together, you get a sum of 27. Now, if the number that you're doing is from 1 to 3, it's probably about as fast to do this by hand as it is to do it on your calculator. But what if you're going from 1 to 50 or 1 to 1,000? Then that takes a whole lot more effort. It's easier to make the calculator do it. The hardest part of this is remembering where in the calculator this is. If we are doing sigma notation, what we are doing is the sum of a sequence. This is all of those numbers. This says add them together. If you actually need a list of a sequence like this, the sequence key will do it. If I need to add them all up, I need sum. So in order to do this particular problem, I need sum, which is found under second list math, and then choose sum. Second list, and list is over the stat key. So second list math sum, that'll put this piece. Then second list ops sequence, second list, that's over the stats key. Choose ops. Sequence is one of the selections there. That'll give you this piece. Then inside this set of parentheses, you need whatever your formula is. My formula here was 6 plus 3, parentheses n minus 1, close parentheses. I can use an x, that's fine. Be careful, don't add this 6 and 3 together. Okay, that has to distribute. I would just put it in just like it is. Then, comma, and this calculator makes you declare what variable you're using because this calculator will deal with more than one variable at a time. So we need to make sure that we are saying, I put an x right here. This also needs to be an x. So just put another x, comma, your starting number, which is the number underneath here, which is 1, and your ending number, which is 3. Close your parentheses twice. It will tell you that the sum is 27. All right, very quick summary of sequence and series and how to use sigma notation. Remember, your sequence and series formulas are found on your end of course assessment formula sheet. Don't forget to use them.